Welcome back, everyone. Today we're jumping right into an incredibly important explainer focused on surviving what I like to call the exhausting, high-achieving teenage marathon. If you're a high-performing student, maybe a bit of a perfectionist, or even a grown-up supporting one, you know the exact drill. We're talking endless study sessions, back-to-back extracurriculars, and just this constant, heavy pressure to succeed. But today, we're not just going to sit here and talk about stress. We're actually going to break down a highly practical, science-backed, body-based reset routine that takes exactly 15 minutes a day. Okay, let's dive right in.
Being good at everything is exhausting, and that's not your fault. We really need to start by validating the high achievers experience right out of the gate here. That constant race for perfect grades and, a flawless resume, it takes a massive, involuntary toll on your body. You are not too much, and you definitely aren't broken. Your nervous system is just overworked. And what we're going to learn today is that performance anxiety isn't some character flaw. It's a completely physical response.
So here is our roadmap for today's explainer. First, we'll cover the high achievers paradox, then your body's alarm system, the somatic toolkit, the 15-minute daily reset, and finally, grown-up support.
All right, kicking things off with Section 1, the high achievers paradox, or what people see versus what you feel.
We really need to unpack where this whole achievement or nothing culture turns every single test, game, or class presentation into this tiny existential crisis for a developing teenage brain. There is a stark, almost invisible gap between what people see and what you actually feel. Looking at the comparison, on the left, you've got the shiny external picture of success, right? Excellent grades, sports trophies, constant smiles. But on the right, you see what's actually happening inside, a racing heart, a tight stomach, and an overworked nervous system that is just utterly terrified of failure. When your self-worth becomes entirely tied to academic or extracurricular results, your brain starts treating every minor pressure like a literal threat to your survival.
Moving on to Section 2. Your body's alarm system, where we'll meet the vagus nerve.
Let's dig into the biology behind this burnout, because as we've established, this is not just all in your head, it's happening right there in your body. When you face a stressor, your sympathetic nervous system kicks in. This is your classic fight-or-flight mode. Think of it as the gas pedal. It gives you a racing heart, tense muscles, and this huge rush of cortisol, which is great, if you're running from a literal bear, but it's not so great for a pop quiz in math class. What we need instead is the parasympathetic nervous system, the rest and digest mode. This is your brake pedal. It brings calm breathing, a relaxed body, and a genuine feeling of safety. The tricky part, you can't just think your way into pressing that brake pedal.
So how exactly do we press it? Well, meet your secret weapon, the vagus nerve. It is the longest cranial nerve in your body, running all the way from your brain, down through your throat and heart, right into your gut. It essentially functions as your body's secret calm button. When you activate it, it directly triggers that parasympathetic brake pedal. And here is the absolute best part. Vagal tone, which is your body's ability to bounce back from stress, can actually be trained, just like a muscle.
Which brings us to Section 3, the somatic toolkit, basically body-based tools to quiet that anxiety.
Okay, so how do we train this muscle? Traditional cognitive advice, like, oh, just think positively, simply doesn't work when your body is drowning in cortisol. The crucial thing here is knowing how to signal to your biology that you're safe. So here are 4 instant vagus nerve resets. First, extended exhale breathing. When your exhale is longer than your inhale, it literally forces your heart rate to slow down. Second, splashing cold water on your face. This triggers the dive reflex, which is this ancient biological response that instantly cools down your nervous system. Third, humming, singing, or even just gargling water physically stimulates the vagus nerve in your throat. And fourth, genuine laughing and safe social connection. Every single one of these sends a rapid-fire biological signal to your brain that the immediate danger is past.
Let's look at another amazing tool, the 5-4-3-2-1 grounding game. This is fantastic when your mind is just racing a mile a minute into future anxieties. I actually want you to actively engage with this right now, wherever you are. Ready? Find 5 things you can see around you. Now notice 4 things you can hear, 3 things you can physically touch, 2 things you can smell, and 1 thing you can taste. See, this isn't just a simple distraction. It forces your brain out of the scary hypothetical future and grounds it firmly in the physical present.
Next up is something known as the animal reset. Ever notice what a dog does after a stressful encounter or, say, getting a bath? They literally shake it off. Well, humans can do this too, by spending just 60 seconds physically shaking your hands, then your arms, and then your whole body. You are allowing your muscles to physically release the tension and adrenaline they've been storing up all day long.
Then we have progressive muscle relaxation. This sequential sequence is brilliant because it teaches your overworked body the physical difference between holding on to tension and finally letting it go. You start right at the bottom, squeezing your feet tightly for a few seconds, then your legs, moving up to your stomach, your hands, your shoulders, and then you release everything all at once. It's honestly like a hard system reboot for your muscles.
Now, what if you're sitting right at your desk? The exam is literally being handed out and you can't exactly start shaking or doing massive muscle squeezes. Try these two super subtle 30-second somatic tools. First is the butterfly hug. You just cross your arms over your chest and slowly, rhythmically tap your alternating shoulders. It is incredibly soothing. And second, grounding feet. You sit quietly and press both feet firmly into the floor, focusing entirely on that solid sensation. Both of these take under a minute and nobody around you even needs to know you're doing them.
Our final somatic tools here are these 4 simple bedroom yoga poses. And hey, no mat required at all. Child's pose provides a deep physical sense of safety and closure. Cat-cow releases all that spinal tension you build up from hunching over a laptop all day. Mountain breath is perfect for dialing in pre-exam focus. And legs up the wall, that is an absolute game changer for a pre-sleep nervous system reset. Just a single minute of these lowers cortisol and dramatically improves your sleep quality. All right, section 4, the 15-minute daily reset, which is all about building a sustainable routine.
Okay, so we've got this massive toolkit now, but how do we actually use it without getting totally overwhelmed? We build a sustainable 15-minute daily reset routine. 15. That is it. 15 minutes out of your entire 24-hour day. If you're a super busy high achiever, you might be thinking, there is no way I have time to add another thing to my schedule. But I promise you, you have 15 minutes. Taking this tiny fraction of your day to reset your biology will actually buy you back hours of lost focus, and it completely helps prevent those massive weekend meltdowns. And here's exactly how you chunk it out into 3 totally bite-sized pieces. In the morning, take just 3 minutes for extended exhales and a mountain breath to start the day with a calm nervous system. After school, invest 5 minutes doing the shaking reset and a child's pose to literally drop the day's stress right at the door. And before bed, take 7 minutes to do legs up the wall and progressive muscle relaxation. This prepares your body for deep, truly restorative sleep. Small daily resets prevent chronic burnout. It really is that simple.
Finally, section 5, grown-up support. This is how parents and teachers can step in and help. Because let's be real, teens should not have to carry this entirely on their own. So parents, teachers, counselors, listen up. This section is specifically for you. Here are 4 direct ways grown-ups can support this biological reset. First, deliberately separate their worth and your love from their academic results. Second, model calm behavior. If you are constantly frantic, they're going to be frantic too. Show them what it actually looks like to take a breath. Third, create a designated calm corner where they can just go to decompress without being interrogated about their day. And fourth, normalize talking about stress without instantly trying to fix it with unsolicited cognitive advice. Remember, a calm nervous system ultimately learns, focuses, and performs so much better than a stressed one.
When you see them struggling, please, instead of that unhelpful command to just calm down or don't worry about it, try this specific, highly empathetic phrasing. I see you're stressed. Want to breathe together for a minute? It validates their physical experience and offers a co-regulating, body-based solution right there in the moment. And that brings us to the end of our explainer today. We've covered the actual biology of your stress, the incredible power of the vagus nerve, and exactly how to build that 15-minute daily reset routine to keep yourself grounded. Calm is a skill, it is not just a personality trait. So I want to leave you with this question. Which one of these 30-second resets will you try before your next test? Pick one right now, commit to it, and start taking control of your own nervous system today. Thanks so much for learning with us, and we'll catch you in the next one.